Hey everybody, welcome back to the Learning Project. You guys, we made it. We're literally on our last part of our journey. I'm so excited. Our last part of our journey on Facebook Live. So now that we have completed all of these amazing trainings on Facebook Live, we're going to meet one more time face to face for the last 5 modules. The class will last from 9 to 5, and we will go over more Washington State law. We'll get to read one of our new books that we're using as far as a guide. You'll see a lot of the STARS training portions. They'll ask you to read certain things as far as required readings. And so we'll do those in class as well. So I'm really excited. I cannot wait to see you guys tonight. I hope that one, you can see me. Everything looks really clear. I'm actually trying something a little different tonight. I know. Don't know. But what I want to do is actually expand this so I'm not so little. We're going to actually watch some videos together. And we're going to discuss them, you guys. Tonight's going to be awesome. It's all about curriculum and learning environments. Some of you guys probably have some really cool ideas about how to create a fun and engaging learning environment, and I want to hear all about it. So this is our last module. I know for some of you guys, it's Friday night, and you've had a long week possibly. And so you might not get to this training tonight. So you'll be able to watch it on another day. There's 2 classes. One is for Little Scholars, and they are located on Monroe. Want to give them a shout out. They are one of the top learning centers in Spokane, Washington. Check out the reviews, you guys. They're absolutely amazing. So I'll be at their center this Sunday at 9 a.m. And then we will be taking a journey to KinderCare Learning Center, South Hill, where I will be meeting with all of their amazing workers as well. We have so many great people in our community. I love the fact that we can get together, we can talk education, we can come up with ideas, we can talk about what's going on and what can we change and what needs to stay the same, So tonight we're gonna really dive into some really cool things. I hope that everything looks really good and really crisp and really clear, because this is my first time doing this part. And you know me, I'm all about first time, just jump in there and do it. So we'll check it out and see how it goes tonight. We're going to wait a little bit here, you guys, because I know that some of you guys want to get in here and get settled in. You just probably get off work, all those good jazz things. So definitely we'll take a couple more minutes and then we'll get everybody locked and loaded. Sorry guys, I'm getting a couple little things set up that I thought it was going to be a little different. And so I just want to see what you guys are seeing and see if everything's running really smooth. If for some reason the video is a little choppy, just say in the group chat you're getting choppy stuff, and then we can kind of go from there. But I'm hoping that it just is really smooth, and if not, I will have another video that will be located in the learning project as well, and you will be able to take a look at that, and it won't be choppy. All right, let's get down to business. I am gonna shrink myself here. If you guys are always wondering what am I listening to all the time, in this little corner here, you'll see Chill Steady Beats #6. Absolutely love this. Whoever's making this music, like, it's so relaxing, and just being able to sit somewhere and read and think and really process, I think it's pretty awesome. So, all right. Let's do it, you guys. I feel like we're ready. I'm just going to click out of that bad boy here. So we are going to be talking about atmosphere. We're going to be talking about the learning center. What does it look like? You know, how are kids' experiences building their present and building off of their past knowledge? I think that's one thing when we are working with kids that we need to keep in mind is, what do they know? So I'm just going to post here on the side a quick little icebreaker. I want to learn a little bit about your type of play. There are so many different ways that you can assess play, and people are like, how do you assess play? There are a few trainings that I have that go over that, and it talks about what levels and how to assess it and all that good stuff. So I'll be briefly touching on some of it, but I won't be going in depth the way I do with when I go into the actual course. However, I want to know, what did you like to play when you were a kid? So remember, this training is absolutely going to be online, and you can jump on anytime. So as I'm talking to myself and talking to all those that are out there, are going to be jumping in soon, feel free to answer those questions, get involved throughout the entire class. You do not have to be on the live group chat. One of the reasons why we do this is to help you stay focused and help you to stay present and stay on task. Because if you don't stay on task, it's going to be really difficult, and you may lose sight on what you're trying to do. So let's talk about a couple of things. When you are looking at your environment, you want to think about, is your environment warm and inviting? Do kids always have a good time there? Are people friendly and accommodating? It's really important to know that when you walk into a building, you know, people are excited to see you. They connect with you, and they want to be there. You also want to think about, does your environment tap into the senses in a positive way? Is there a sense of fresh air, or is there food aroma throughout your center, or does it smell like poop? You know, like, let's be real, right? So all of those things that you want to think about as you are developing and growing as an educator. What experiences are your families having when they're dropping their little ones off? Are kids running all over the place? Are they playing? Are they engaged? Are you able to talk to families? Those things are huge pieces. Classroom management is a term that you will constantly hear over and over and over and over again, because when you have great classroom management, it really is reflects your children that you work with. It reflects your job. It reflects how you run your class. I mean, there's so many different pieces that go into classroom management and why they're important. And so it's really important to keep in mind what are families experiencing. Even during pickup and drop off time, that is something, that's a place where you could start, you know what I mean? And I actually think it would be great to start there, because that will allow you to just pick one little thing that's super simple and move from there. Also, does your environment feel comfortable and is it secure? That's a huge thing, you guys. So make sure that as you are looking at your own environment, you're thinking about, what does my environment feel like? You know, is this place warm, welcoming, an environment that I would want my own children to be in? You know, I always tell people, when you have a little one and you choose not to put them in a center because you know in the back of your mind that that center is not where you would want your child to be at, you've got to really talk to yourself and talk to others. I have this phrase that says, teach kids the way you want your children to be taught. Because when you understand the importance of teaching a child and spending that time being consistent, you are really going to be putting yourself in a really great position when it comes to them growing and learning and feeling comfortable and feeling secure. So let's keep going here. So in a child-centered environment, there are a few things. Sorry, guys. A few things that I want you to keep in mind. When it comes to staff working closely with children, we need to also hold ourselves accountable and make sure that we're observing them. We want to make sure that we are following their lead when it's possible. You know, it's good to know that you can follow a child's lead and still feel like you're in control. I think sometimes teachers want to be in control of every single aspect of the day, but the kids need to have a part of the day where they're in control. And I feel like learning centers do that. It allows them to have that freedom to express themselves, figure out different problems, solutions, and just kind of brings everything together. Also, you want to think about, is your program scheduling and your physical layout and their procedures best for the children in that space? Because sometimes we could put too much furniture in a center, or we can put certain colors that actually make it really dark. In my CDA course, I just started talking about colors and design. I don't know why I'm into this, but I am just totally in love with color schemes and how they work and what should you put together and how do you put it together. I think we do a lot of interior decorating in early childhood education. I think it's a part of what we do. I think it's a part of our love for art and having a warm and welcoming environment. And so those are things that I want you to think about as we go through this process. Also, I want you to remember about curriculum, just a couple of things. One, each child is different. There are some children that can initiate play. Some children need help. Some children don't play with anyone at all because it's too complicated for them. We also want to keep in mind that children are going to be different when it comes to play. So you have to think about the combination of children that you put in their class. So for example, you may have a little one that doesn't play well with one child, but then plays great with another child. You know, are you putting them in every single center together, and are they, you know, struggling with that relationship and they're constantly fussing or arguing? You know, those are things that you want to think about. Those are things that you want to consider when you're thinking about a dynamic of children to put in different learning centers. So I want to show you a quick little video that is pretty awesome. I actually really like it. It's called Environments, and I think they do a good job. I'm really scared to make this full screen because I don't want it to bump me out. So I'm just going to play it, and then we're going to see what happens and go from there. So these links will be available for you guys. So if you want to go back and look at them, you are more than welcome.
Control the environment, and that will direct the child. That's the philosophy behind creating environments that enhance the early childhood experience. Managing the flow of traffic in your classroom is every bit as important as selecting the right equipment and materials. Once you've determined what you need, making a good room plan is the next important step. In this video, we'll take a look at the factors that optimize flow in your classroom. Providing clear paths around centers automatically directs traffic, as demonstrated in this preschool model room plan, and again in this older toddler room plan. It's wise to place centers in such a way to break up open spaces, which controls speeds and makes for a calmer classroom. Make sure adults have clear sight lines by keeping taller storage units away from the center of the room. Place active play centers near each other, as seen in this younger toddler room plan, and quieter play centers near each other. This allows children to engage in playful learning without undue distraction. As you can see in this pre-K room plan, the block play and dramatic play centers are on one side of the room, and the cozy corner and reading center are on the other side. It's good to have as much space as possible between the two areas. Messy centers like art and science are best near a sink and on a floor surface that is easy to clean. Provide storage in each center area. This allows children to select materials and clean up without creating a traffic jam. Arranging your tables near each other supports family-style dining and creates ease in serving and meal management. With just a few low-tech tools, you can create a flow plan for your room. Remember, establish clear traffic paths, break up open spaces, ensure that adults have a clear view of the room. Be aware of active and quiet center placement. Manage your messy centers. Place tables near each other to make family-style dining easier to manage. Now make your plans a reality.
I love these centers. So open, so well flowing. One thing I will bring out about these pictures that we're seeing, there are no labels on the activities on some of them. Like the bins need to have labels so that kids can know where things go. But if you look, this space is really awesome. They've done a great job with spreading out the materials, making sure there's enough space for children. For some of us, our centers are a little bit smaller, so the spaces are a lot different, and you really have to learn how to play with those spaces and know what clutters it and what actually makes it look bigger. And sometimes it's just a matter of framing your room or changing things around just to give it a fresh look.
For more resources for your early childhood classroom, go to environments.com. And if you need any assistance, just give us a call.
Environments, this is a great resource to learn more about how to do like room planning and things like that. They do a really good job. I do have one resource by Capella. They actually will allow you to do room arrangement and create your own classroom, which is really awesome. And I think it's great when it comes down to using that as a tool to help redirect or reframe your classroom. So there's a few things that I want you to also think about as you are looking at learning preferences and space and stuff like that. So I want to talk to you about learning differences, because the different learning differences will indicate what you're going to be doing in your classroom and how you're going to set it up. So some children will listen while others will need something to do or practice before they understand fully. There are some children that can't sit still for a long period of time. Others need to be free and move about. There are other children who want to be able to do activities perfectly before sharing their accomplishments with others. And so if you really think about some of the adults that we work with, they're kind of the same way, where they're like, you know what, I don't want to do certain things in front of people because I'm not confident yet. Or they're like, I don't want to do it because I'm going to do it wrong, so they don't do it. I mean, there's so many different temperaments that you have to think about. You want to think about some children are really outgoing and they're outspoken with adults. Others are uncomfortable when adults speak to them, you know. That might be an area that we can slowly work on with them to help them unfold. Some children do not like being told what to do. This is so true. They just don't like it. Others need to hear exactly what you expect from them. So there's those little ones that, you know, and when you tell them your expectations, then they're like back on track and they get it. Some children play comfortable in groups and others prefer to play alone. I think this is one thing that I would really encourage is that if you're doing a large activity, make sure that you offer some type of small activity for children to do, because that's going to make your life so much easier when you're in class. There's just some kids that really like to be together and there's other kids that don't like to be together as much. Also, I want to just go over a couple other little things with you. Providers should also be aware of a couple things. Developmental ranges in the same age group may be 2 years or more. Individual children may have unique requests or skills outside the range of their group. So they may be a little bit gifted in some areas. And I don't even like to call it gifted. Just some kids have natural talent with certain things. And you want to develop that and grow that. And then there may be some kids with some special needs in your classroom. You want to figure out how can you get them involved so they can be proud of what they can do and not look at themselves as, you know, comparing, you know, themselves to other children, but just comparing themselves to themselves. So let's just keep going here, you guys. So you're hanging in there on a Friday night. So I'm really proud of you guys. So well-planned environments encourage children to play, grow socially and emotionally, physically and intellectually. In order to stimulate development in all areas, spaces should be planned very well. So when we talk about places or spaces being planned, like when you looked at one of the examples in the video, she had like, it was like some kids playing with a dinosaur, you know, maybe we take a box and we paint it and they can play within that box with those toys. That's enhancing the learning. That's enhancing their experience. That's giving them more knowledge and giving them more space to be more creative and imaginative. Children will be able to move around the room, make choices, and learn new things when they're in a space that is inviting and welcoming. One child may choose something quiet on spot to be, and basically choose to be alone, you guys. There are some kids that like to be alone, but the one thing I want you to encourage that child to do as well is to get along with others and play with one another. That is extremely important. If they don't learn those skills, they may struggle when they go to kindergarten, and which we know when they don't have those skills, they do struggle. So an example of some interest areas or centers, there's block area, creative art, music, dramatic play, sensory and exploration, library and quiet area, literacy and writing, table toys and manipulatives, science, computer, woodworking, building, and outdoor and large muscle motor activities that you could do with them as well. Make sure I said that. Large muscle areas. That's what it was. I was like, that doesn't sound right. So let's keep going, and we're going to look at this next video. Hopefully it will be perfect, and it will. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. I want to make sure you see the new one. Perfect. Here we go.
How do you create an environment that inspires playful learning? Children need to have a sense of belonging and to feel comfortable with their surroundings. Everything around them should be touchable. A good learning environment meets the needs of young children. It's been said that when we control the environment directs the child. There are 4 basic criteria for a quality early childhood environment. It's nurturing. A secure environment that supports relationships between the child and the environment and between the teacher and the child and fosters autonomy. It's attractive, with high quality, stimulating materials and equipment that promote sensorial exploration and discovery. It's organized. It's well planned, easy to clean, has proper flow from one area to another, adequate storage, and space for active movement in large groups, as well as room for cozy spaces and quiet times. And it's functional. It's safe, developmentally appropriate, and provides opportunities for children to develop and practice new skills as they progress. Let's explore a preschool model room layout to see how each area meets young children's needs. It's important to provide individual cubby spaces for each child in your classroom. Locating this near the entrance makes greetings and departures convenient and organized. The Pretend and Dramatic Play Center is equipped with child-sized home furnishings, dress-up clothes, dolls and doll accessories, as well as other familiar home and community props. This allows children to pretend, imitate, role play, and try on the world in a safe place. The Block Play Center is best in a semi-enclosed space that is out of the main flow of traffic. It's equipped with assorted shapes and sizes of wooden unit blocks. Accessories such as vehicles, community props, diverse people and animals add dimension to block play and connect it to other appropriate curriculum. The Group Activity Center is designated by a soft, carpeted area to gather for group experiences in literacy activities and oral communication, as well as space for creative music and movement activities. A quiet corner near the Literacy Center, furnished with a mat and pillows, allows children to escape alone or with a friend to read or just relax. This center, furnished with a small table and chair and a variety of paper and writing tools, provides children with a place to practice their writing skills. Including a listening station allows children to listen to recorded stories and follow along with the book and opens opportunities for further learning concepts. Find a place to store easy-to-clean cots and mats, as well as sheets and blankets for each child. It's best for storage to be out of the way of traffic, but easy enough to access when it's resting time. The Art Center is equipped with tables and chairs and easels and aprons, as well as a variety of art tools and media that allow children to create and experiment without concern for the...
I just want to say, if you have an art easel, put paper on it. I think a lot of times we just cover up stuff, or we don't put certain things out because kids are going to make a mess. Let the kids create. This is so important. And so I just want to say that as we're watching this video.
End product. A sand and water table in the Science and Discovery Play area allows children to play with a variety of safe and appropriate experiential tools that support scientific discovery and sensorial experiences. And make sure to provide adequate, easy-to-access storage. The Math and Manipulative Center is set up with table, chairs, and accessible storage for a variety of materials that meet different learning styles. The materials provide concrete, hands-on experiences that include counting, grouping, matching, and weighing. These activities help to develop perceptual and discrimination skills and also develop small motor skills and eye-hand coordination. We looked at a preschool room plan, but the classroom areas we reviewed also apply to the pre-K classroom, making just a few changes for developmentally appropriate materials. So where do you start? You start with a plan. Determine your basic equipment. Make a list of appropriate center materials. Make sure you have adequate storage. Then consider additional items like light tables or family-style dining equipment. Learn more about Center Flow by watching our Center Flow video. You can download free room planning guides at environments.com. And if you need any assistance, just give us a call. We're happy to help.
So nice. So nice. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about your posts that you need to have daily. Now that we kind of understand the learning environment, we understand what the expectation is. So we need to make sure that we post our schedule daily as well as the lesson plan. This is requirements of licensing. Okay. Staff have to have access to that schedule too. So it's not just a schedule for you. It's something that you want to post in your classrooms for each teacher. You want to make sure you're offering a variety of learning materials. Consistently plan a wide range of learning experiences through lessons and activities and events. You need to keep 6 months of lessons and activity plans available for licensing inspection. This is extremely important. So make sure that if you are writing things by hand, make sure you scan it into the computer or something so that you can keep those documents and you don't lose them. And then you want to maintain child-adult to ratio, which we talked about in Module 1, where it talks about the ratios and things that we have to follow. Outdoor equipment is just critical to a child's development as well, just as it is really important for the inside. So you want to look at your outside play yard and really try to create and bring in new activities where children can explore and learn and really just grow and develop. So when it comes to outdoor space, you must have at least 75 square feet per child, the maximum number of children using the outdoor play yard at any time. Programs with limited space may struggle with the schedule and using the outside play yard. Children are very creative, so outdoors toys and structures should basically be available to children. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, we're actually doing really good, you guys. We want to talk a little bit about early learning programs and how they offer a sort of culturally and relevant activities, experiences, as well as materials that are based upon developmental appropriate practices, DAP. So developmentally appropriate practices support the belief that all children are unique and progress through their own predictable ages and stages at their own pace. It is the provider's job to make sure that the activities and materials and experiences are appropriate for each child in their care. To engage children in active, meaningful, and learning, it is important for you to foster a positive identity and a sense of emotional well-being. Develop a social and emotional and knowledge. Develop knowledge in social and emotional skills. Enhance children to think critically, or encourage them to think critically and reason and question and experience. Enhance physical development and skills. Encourage demonstration, healthy and safe and nutritious practices. It's really important. You guys are the models for the kids, and they need to know how to do certain things and how to live a healthy lifestyle, or even just how do you, put yourself in a good environment, in a good situation. How do you connect with other children? I mean, there's so many different things that you are going to be able to teach within that position. So let's go on. We are going to do something a little different because this is our last module. Getting a couple things together. On your first day of your class with me, we are going to actually design a classroom in the classroom. So we're going to pull out some paper and pencils and put block areas together. We're going to put creative art areas together. And we're going to try to create an amazing experience for kids. And we're going to do that all together. So that will be our icebreaker for our first class that we meet up. So we actually are going to continue module number 5 when we first meet. I think module number 5 is a great way to just jump in as a group together. We are going to talk about family and community partnerships, and then we are going to dive into healthy practices. And then after healthy practices, there's 2 parts to them, so 7 and 8. Then we have interactions and guidance. And then our last one is going to be supporting children for life success. So tonight is a little bit shorter, but I want to let you know kind of what's happening ahead of time. This is where the program is going to get super hands-on. And so when we meet together in class, we are going to actually go through all the process there. If you have not signed up for the course and you're just kind of been popping in and out, that's totally fine. But if you want to get stars credits for this, you want to make sure that you jump right onto that little evaluation form, fill it out, pay your tuition fee for the class, and we move forth from there. You guys, I am so excited that we have made it to module number 5, and I'm very proud of you guys because I know that it's been a long day, but I'm glad you hung in there. Good job. Tonight, like I said, is super short because when we meet up, we're going to have a hands-on activity that is going to basically continue on this portion. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and welcome and thank you for coming to the Learning Project. You guys have a great night.